Hey guys, it's Mayakana and welcome back to the Twin Flame video series. Today's video is going to be called If You Want It, Let It Go. And I almost didn't make this video because I kind of feel like this is a basic spiritual principle that everybody already knows who's watching the video, but at the same time, like, I forget this one a lot. And it's really been a magical practice for me, so I thought I would make a short video reminding everyone that when we hold on too tight to wanting a specific thing, we often block ourselves from having it. And literally, like, the most important part of the whole entire manifestation process is letting go of what we actually want, like knowing clearly what we want, but then being willing to let it go. And in that letting go process, we create space to have it again. Like, because the truth of the matter is, everything that you want, you already have it. That's why you want it. It already belongs to your soul. So like with this crystal right here, I want it. I love this crystal, okay? So some people are like, without realizing that they're so multidimensional that everything that they've already wanted, including their twin flame, is already with them and already exists, they're like sitting around, say this crystal's your twin flame, and they're like, oh my gosh, spirit guides, or whatever, or higher self, please bring me the selenite, like, please bring me the twin flame, like, I want it, I need it, I must have it. And like, they're not understanding that because they're holding on to so tight that specific thing, there's no way that their soul self or spirit guides or anybody can bring it to them, because they haven't let go of it yet in the other world, because they're holding on to it so strong. So like, if I tell my guides I need to have this selenite, but then I just grasp onto it so tight, how are they going to bring it to me? Because in that other reality, in that parallel version of me, I'm having it already, it's already there, and I've grasped onto it so tight. So the trick is, if you want something really a lot, you've got to say, guess what? I really want the selenite. I really want it. Bring it to me. And then you have space. Look, all of a sudden you have space now to receive it back. And then I think your guides are probably like mine. They're probably friends. So they'll probably work with you, you know, and they'll be like, okay, here you go. And then it seems like a miracle, but what we forget is that we orchestrated the entire process. Like, we orchestrated the entire process. But the process cannot happen, it cannot work unless we let go. And so, I wanted to share with you a couple examples. I feel like maybe some of these examples happened in my life specifically so that I could share them. So here we go. Story time. So there's so many examples of this in my life when I actually think about it, but I'm going to try to just pick like 3 or 4. So first example. Oh man, taking me back into that moment. So it was Christmas of 2014, which was the first Christmas that I ever knew Zaire. I had missed Christmas for a couple times because of being in Africa and being abroad. So I hadn't had Christmas with my family in a long time. But I was away at grad school and I was about to start a new job. So I only had like 3 days or 2 days break for the Christmas holiday. But I decided it's so important to me. I hadn't seen Zaire in like 4 months. And I hadn't seen my family in longer than that. And so I was like, it's so important to me to see them. I must make it happen. So I put it out to the universe and guides, manifesting. I gotta make it happen. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna fly, you know, to where they are for Christmas. And I'm just gonna see Zaire for like, I was only gonna see him actually for like 2 hours after not seeing him for 4 months. Some of you are probably in situations like that right now. But I was like, even 1 hour, even 1 minute would be worth any amount of money or any amount of effort. I was holding on to it really tight. I planned all the details, everything about how I wanted it to go. I was forcing it, even though it was clearly not really fitting, because it was going to be such a short trip that by the end of the time, once I had everything booked, I wasn't even going to be with my family for a full 24 hours. I was literally going to like fly in that morning and fly out that night. So anyway, you know, but I was forcing it into reality. So long story short, I was trying to manifest that vision that I had of being with Zaire specifically, and my family, but it was really like I would do anything to be with him, right? Okay, so it didn't happen. it so much didn't happen. Like, I think I forgot to release it to the universe and say, you know, if this is in the highest and best good in whatever way, you know, will be the best for our souls. I forgot to do that. And so instead I held on to it so it couldn't come to me. There was, what happened? A missed bus to take to the airport, and then a missed flight, and then a closed highway because of a storm, and then Zaire tried to come to me, and it was impossible again, a flight delay, closed roads. He got all the way to me, to 40 miles away from me, and then they shut down the entire highway system and stuff, and we couldn't be together, and I wasn't with him, and I wasn't with my family on Christmas that year, and I felt kind of bad for myself until after days, like, had passed, where I finally, like, and beautiful, beautiful spiritual teachers and stuff that I knew, thank you, universe, for blessing me with so many wonderful people, were like, Maya, you have to surrender. Like, this whole situation is going to get you to surrender to a higher power, and when you do that, you're going to get what you want, or better. So people were telling me this, and at first I didn't hear them, and I was like, I just want to be with my family on Christmas. I just want to see Zaire for 10 seconds or whatever. I wasn't getting it. But then I did. Like, in the middle of the night, one night at like 4:44, that's like, a lot of things have happened for me at that time. I finally got it, and I was like, oh, like, if I just totally let go and I surrender this thing that I want, or that I think I want, more than anything else in the entire world, and I give it back to Spirit, then Spirit will give it to me, or something better. Like, then the energy is actually there to manifest it. So, dun 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 dun, I did some magic, my first magic, well, no, actually not, but one of my first times doing some magic in this lifetime, and I did surrendering, and I just worked with the energies, and all of a sudden, I was with Zaire in the Rocky Mountains for 10 days, and during that time, I realized that why the heck was I taking a job instead of doing my union, so I just quit it, and then I decided to move with Zaire, and I've been with him ever since. So anyway, so what happened was, once I finally released what I thought I wanted, I got everything I could have ever truly wanted. Like, my entire life with Zaire came to me. And I think, you know, if I would have just continued to hold on to that and then felt bad that I didn't get that, like, Christmas with my family and stuff, not only would I have never seen Zaire, but I would be doing a job that I hated. I wouldn't be living with him, you know what I mean? We wouldn't be in union. I wouldn't be a psychic. I wouldn't have Maya's Bright Star Creations. Like, I got all that because I let it go. Okay, so that's example one. I also wanted to point out to people that sometimes people come in our path to tell us that we're not going to get something so that we can let it go, so that we can get it. So, like, sometimes people think, and the reason why I'm saying this is because, of course, it happened to me, like, with psychic readings and stuff like that, where people have told me, Maya, you are not going to get that thing, and then I've let it go, and then I've gotten it. And so it seems like, you know, at a lower level of consciousness, somebody might say, that was a bad psychic reading because it was wrong. But how I'm seeing it now is like, holy crap, that psychic gave me magic, because then I got the thing. So anyway, so here's a relevant example. So, what day is it today? It's like the 24th of August. Okay, and the 24th of June about, so 2 months ago, I came and I got a reading, and I said to the lady, I want to know where to put the focus of my business, okay? And she said twin flames immediately, which was ironic, because that wasn't exactly what I was doing at the time. But anyway, funny how things change. And I said, though, you know, what should I focus on? Doing readings, doing coaching, or doing events? And I said, I really believe that my truest, highest purpose, given all my experience in the past, is to do events. I was holding on to events really strongly. In fact, like, every day at like 11:11 and 11:11 again, the second time, and every time I would see that, and every time that I felt magical, I would be like, Spirit guides, please give me the opportunity to do an event. Like, I just wanted to do one event in 2016. I was like, this year is going to be my first event, and like, I would manifest it, I would imagine it, and I was definitely giving it positive energy. So like, that part of it, I was doing good. but I wasn't letting it go. I was constantly holding on. And like, it's like when we hold on to it, it's because we believe we're not going to have it, you know? Because otherwise, why would you hold on to something if you believe, it's because you believe it's not necessarily for you. Okay, but I hadn't realized that yet. So there I am at the reading, beautiful woman, beautiful psychic. And she was here, like where I work now. But anyway, she was like, you know what, Maya? She goes, your truest, like, match is actually as a coach, which is funny because I haven't done like a single coaching session since then. I've only done readings, but anyway. Okay, so she's like, your truest match as a coach, and she's like, the events, it's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to do the events. You should release that back to spirit for now. Like, there's things that need to happen before you can do events. And I was a little shaken. I was kind of like, ooh, like I kind of constricted, but I was like, you know what, whatever. I was like, I trust my guides. My guides come through everybody. Like my guide, like I've never had any psychic have any issue talking to my guides. I always just tell them, guess what, we're gonna get a reading, come through the psychic, and they do. So anyway, I was like, well, it must have been my guides. They gave me that message for some reason. So that day, I literally shifted and I was like, okay, focus on Maya's Bright Star Creations is twin flames now. Like, we're gonna let go of everything else. Like, I was literally like doing readings for dogs and cats and stuff, and I was like, twin flames only. So I made the shift and I said, fine, I'm gonna release the events. I'm not gonna try to manifest it anymore. And I didn't. For the first time in like a year and a half, I didn't. Like, I went through the whole new moon cycle. I went through all the 11/11s, and I went through all the times I felt blissed out and all the sacred sexuality things and all that stuff, and I didn't ever manifest the events, okay? I didn't do any of that. And for the first time, I didn't try to make it happen. And gosh, it was not any more than 1 month. Like, it couldn't have been more than 1 month, somewhere like 3 to 4 weeks. And all of a sudden, I realized I had events. It was like the silliest thing in the world. I don't even know what happened because it's been like so miraculous, but you know, my friend, you know, it was like, Maya, I'm going to set up some events for you here. Just let me do it. Like, you don't even have to do anything. Just show up. I'm going to do it. And I was like, at first I didn't realize that it had happened because I released it. I was just like, miracles, like, thank you guys. Like, I'm always just like, thank you, you guys are so awesome. Like, let's have a party. But I knew I didn't really do it. Like, I didn't actively do it anyway because I had literally been like, I guess we're not going to do that. I'll just release that whole part of my path. Even though, like, Zaire and I literally were put on this planet to do events, but I decided to forget that for a moment and just consider the possibility that maybe I was just confused about everything that had happened in my life and his. Anyway, so release. So that happened first, and I was like, oh my God, whoa, 2 events, like they just came to me. And then, so that was pretty cool. And I was like, this is going to really happen. Like that thing there that I'd been holding on to that I wasn't getting, that I released, I'm going to get it now. And not only that, but then and this is another thing too that happened in the same way. Serendipitously, I walk in to this new place that I'm working, which also came to me once I finally released it. And my boss was like, guess what? We do events. And she was like, and still is, even just this morning, she was like, guess what, Maya? Like, you can do events absolutely anytime, any day that you want. And we will advertise all of them for you. You don't have to do anything. So like this whole time I was like working, trying to connect with people, trying to prove to myself and stuff like that so that I could do events. And I literally did nothing. She literally didn't even know who I was. And she was like, whenever. And even today I was like, whenever, literally just tell me the dates and times and what you're going to do. And I'll make sure people are there. Like, what the heck? Magic, guys. Okay. So, but it was the releasing. None of this happen until I released it. So I'm just going to set the intention again to just release it. Even though I'm so excited about all the possibilities, just release it again. Okay, whatever. If I never do any more again, like at least I got 2 and it was great. Okay, so my job here right now, where I'm at, same thing. Literally, like I used to sit with my friend Anna, and we were like, right when we first we're like embracing, you know, our soul essences and the shifts that we had. We're like, oh my gosh, like the only thing that I want in like the whole world is like we were just like kids at that time. Like I would just be such a dream to work at a crystal shop and like to be able to do readings and to just refer clients to what they needed. Like it was literally like for a time period, like my greatest dream. And at that time I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like really nice and high vibe and cute, and I'm gonna go, like I lived in a totally different place then, but I was like, I'm gonna go to the little spirit shop and like ask them, oh please, like beg them, can I work for you? And I did that, and like they were kind of nice, but like it was clear that they were not gonna hire me, right? And then I was like, okay, well I guess I did that wrong. I need to found my business first, because I didn't even have Maya's Bright Star Creations at that time. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not cool enough. Like it's because I don't know enough about spirit, right? So I was still trying to control it. Okay, so I learned a lot more about spirit and all the things, and I got a mentor who taught me many wonderful things, and I did all that stuff, and I started to build my spiritual resume. I founded Maya's Bright Star Creations. I did readings. I worked with clients. I did many things to try to get to work at a spiritual new age shop again. And then I moved all the way here to be with Sayer, and I went to the shop where I'm at right now, and I was like, hi, I'm Maya. It's so nice to meet you. I love your shop. If you ever need anybody, please like let me know that, you know, I will be so happy to do absolutely anything that you could ever want, even for free, like, because that's how much I wanted it. And I was just trying to create it. Like I was holding on to it like so much, literally any single way. Like I just need this thing. Nothing, literally nothing. Like they didn't even seem interested. And then I didn't realize it, but I was still holding on to it, like, oh, I need to do this thing, like, I want it, because, like, even a year and a half later, like, almost a year and a half later, I called, and I was like, oh, hi, like, I'm Maya, I have a business, it's, like, kind of a big business now, and, like, I'm a psychic, and, you know, in case you ever need anybody, like, I just wanted you to know, like, here's my information. And like, not only did the person not seem interested in me, but she also seemed really rude to me. Like, and I don't think that, and now that I know who it is, it's totally not true to who she is, but like, it was such a negative energy that was brought towards me. Like, I was like, what the heck, universe? I was like, I know I'm supposed to have this thing, because every time I think about it, it makes me so blissed out. Like, I almost explode in a giant bubble of love, okay? But it wasn't happening because I was holding on to it. Like, I was holding on to it so much. Oh my gosh. So then I was like, whoa. So this is when Vanessa was with us too. And I was like, dang, this is never gonna happen. I was like, am I broken? I was like, this is not that big of a thing. I've been trying to manifest it. And my friend as well, Anna too, like, who had been trying to manifest it, she had already manifested it and done the whole thing. And I was like, oh, I suck. I was like, so that's bad. That's a comparison. But anyway, I really did think that. I was like, it was like, look at this huge business I built, and I can't even get a spirit shop job. So Vanessa and I were doing some manifestations and stuff, and I was like, okay, like, it was pretty magical. So I was like, okay, you know what, spirit, like, okay, I get you're trying to do something here, so I give it up. Like, I have something so much better that I've built on my own. Why do I still want this thing? I was like, okay, well, I give it up. Like, I am not going to try anymore to get any jobs at any new age shops ever. Like, I'm just gonna, I even like joined a whole organization of psychics because I knew that the head of the organization owned a shop, and I was willing to like drive an hour and a half to work there. But okay. So I'm just telling you how much, like, I was holding on to this thing. So I was like, okay, we're done. Like, they hate me. Like, okay, that's fine. Like, it's fine. I guess it's not meant to be. Surrender. Okay, so how many days did pass? I swear to God, it was like, well, Vanessa was only here for like a month, so it wasn't very long. And that happened, it was probably 6 days, 6 or 9 days or something like that. I walk into the shop with her to buy a crystal for her twinnie. Oh, okay. And the person behind the counter was like, hi, nice to meet you. Would you like to work here? And I didn't do anything. Like, I wasn't like, hadn't said anything about myself. I didn't say I had a business. I was psychic. I didn't say anything. I just was like looking at the crystals, and also I was like really fumbly as well. Like, I accidentally knocked over a display and I was being really ridiculous. Like, I was like taking out the crystals out of the containers and like holding all of them to see which one would be best, and like I was really displaying some behavior that I think Probably isn't what I thought would definitely get me a job at a shop like this. And she was like, yeah, like and I still was like, I need to prove myself. Like, I'm going to send her my website and all my videos and stuff like that. But I totally know that she didn't even look at them. She just hired me on the spot. She was like, I love your energy. I want you to work here. And you can do whatever you want. Just name the days and times. Like, you can come as much as you want and be here and do readings for the public and stuff. And we'll just take care of everything. What the heck? I was literally like, whoa, what just happened? Again, I was confused what I actually did that created the shift. Because I was thinking that these things happened because of doing things. Like, I was like, you know what? It was because I did like 200 readings the month prior or whatever, and I reached the magic number. Like, I was trying to find something that I did that caused that path to open for me. But when I realized this and looked at the pattern, I realized that what I did was nothing. What I did was actually even less than nothing. It was I actually gave up, and then it happened. 100% effortlessly. 100% effortlessly. And there's one other example that I want to bring to the table too, which is about Zaire and our past lives and trying to heal them. Like, trying to heal together, okay? So, travel back in time to February of 2015. Zaire and I are living in our one-room studio apartment together, and whoa. Like, when we first moved in together, it was like anti-sleep. Like, every time we would sleep, I would just see these visions of all these like colors and stuff. Like, I was like sleeping, but I could like still see our bodies. You know what? I probably wasn't in my body, but anyway, I could like see our bodies and all the colors around us and stuff like that. And it was like exhausting. But anyway, we did it. Thank you. Okay, so we did it. Anyway, okay, so this one night, we both woke up in the middle of the night then again, and we were kind of upset for some reason. We were kind of sad. And we were like sitting across from each other, and I was looking at Zaire and looking into his eyes a little, and could only see a little bit from like the moonlight from the window and stuff. And all of a sudden, I stopped seeing his face there, like us in our pajamas, and I saw him as like a monk, like in a monastery and stuff. For like not that long, but it's like real memorable. Like, it wasn't a super short amount of time. It was like 15 seconds. Like, it was long enough where it was obvious. And then I saw like myself sitting in like a pew and stuff like that, and I knew I was something like, not a nun, but like something like that, some person, some woman, feminine energy person that was working in the same place. So we just saw that. I saw that. Now, at the time, I thought, you know what? I guess I'm the spiritual one. It's just going to be me, like, whatever. But then when I came back to awareness and I saw Zaire's actual face, he looked like he was in complete shock and awe. So I realized something must have happened, and I decided to ask him what happened. And he was like, oh my God, Maya, I don't know what happened, but I just saw you looking totally different. Like, I saw you looking like a nun or something, and I saw myself as a monk, and I felt us together in a different time period. And we like tried to kind of go into it like more and stuff, but we couldn't. It was just like that one glimpse that we needed at the time. So after that, for like, and people that know me well are probably nodding their head right now, for like a year and a half, I was like, oh my God, I am so embarrassed. I put so much energy into this. I was like, I got to get a past life regression to go into this lifetime. Because I knew that, you know, something happened related to the church, and we probably did something inappropriate. Like, for example, took a vow of chastity and then broke it and then got burned alive, etc. Okay? So I'm a psychic. Like, I kind of knew, but I wanted to like experience it firsthand, so I could understand what like state we were in and stuff like that, and how we could shift it throughout time. Because I was like convinced that this thing was like standing in the way of certain aspects of our partnership. Okay, so yeah. So Maya decided to call like a million past life regressionists and email, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna I want them to want to help us, so maybe if they know like about us, and they'll want to help us because we're nice, like. And so I would tell them what we were trying to do and what I was doing for humanity and stuff. Will you help us? Like, will you just regress us? And all of them were like, no, we won't do it. together, like, or it doesn't seem right, or some people just didn't even respond. And all the way up until even this April, Zaire and I went to Nashville to meet Rosa, and like, I literally like came so close, I felt like, to finally getting this past life regression that I wanted, to understand how our past lives were influencing us now. And I was on the phone with this lady and stuff, and she like literally seemed, it like everything was in place. And then like the day that we were supposed to do it, she like never called me to confirm. She's like, I'll call you tomorrow to confirm with the details and tell you when to come, and she never did. And so finally we just left, like, because it was the last day of our trip and it didn't happen. And I was like, Maya, you are such a failure. Like, how can, like, what the heck? You're willing to pay any amount of money. How can you not get a past life regression? And like, I even had clients who were like hypnotherapists, like many different ones and stuff. And like, none of them ever would do it. So it was like, I was holding on so tight to like, we have to have this experience. So after that trip, because I had been trying for a little like less than a year and a half, a year and a couple months to get a past life regression, I was like, okay, I guess it's never going to happen. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen. And then I realized, like, you know, Zaire and I went through like the few days of silence and stuff during intense energies this summer. And I realized like, I didn't even want to have any past life, like, memories, is because I was getting obsessed with it, and so it was taking me away from the now moment. And also I was like, I don't even want to have these experiences because I don't want to be the one to just share them with Zaire and like just be seeing more stuff on my own, because I see so many things and he only sees some of it. And it's like, I'm just gonna have to convince him that it's true. I was like, no, I'm gonna release this. Like, so that one I did do consciously. I was like, I'm going to release this whole past life thing and just live totally now in the moment, and just know that everything we need to know and everything that we are and everything that we've ever been and ever will be is available in this moment. And I'm just going to be here, and just past lives are amazing, but like, they're not as powerful as the life we're in now. So like, that was me. I like consciously surrendered this whole thing. Like, I surrendered it. And as we were driving to Asheville, we were kind of driving on the same roads like that we took to get to Nashville for a long time. And I was just remembering, I was like, wow, I felt so anxious and nervous and scared and frustrated. Like, I was remembering the trip to Nashville, because I was like so nervous about getting a past life regression or trying to find the answers and blah, 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 blah. And on the way back, I was so disappointed, like, from not getting the answers and stuff. I mean, I still had fun, but like, it really took me out of the experience. And so I was reflecting on that, and I was like, you know what? I'm so glad I released that. Like, on this trip to Nashville, I'm so glad that I released that. And yeah, so that was like a little moment. And then like at Zaire's Wild Man retreat, they weren't even doing any like past life work or anything like that. But when he was doing his activations, like, he remembered, like, so he basically had like past life memories for 45 minutes, which is like a long time, like a really long time, because you can get a ton of like glimpses from different lifetimes where we were together and stuff. You can get a ton of past life information within, if you stepped out of this reality for 15 seconds, you could see enough to shift your whole life. Like, you know, to get enough information. So, and it just happened spontaneously because I released it, I think. Like, and it literally felt so amazing to know that he had that experience, and he had it, and it didn't have to be me. It was him, and I could just tap into it through him, right? Like, literally felt like it was like 100 million bazillion Christmases, like, at once. Like, oh, this is the best thing I could have ever hoped for. So I'm just gonna have to confess that looking back on my life, all the wonderful things that have happened to me, I didn't make them happen. Like, I didn't work to get them or prove myself to anybody or do anything or any rites of passage or anything like that. All the things that have wonderful that have happened on my path, all the times where I got my heart's desire, it was because I stopped needing to have it, and I just released it, and then it came to me. So wow, this has been like a lot longer of a video than what I was expecting, but I hope it helps you guys, because I know it's scary to let go of the quest for the thing that you really want, but I really do believe that when you do, and you just surrender it to a higher power, and you really stop needing it, and you really stop wanting it, then that's when you're gonna get it. And I also think as well, like, looking at my connection with Zaire, it was like the same thing too. Like, it was like this, like the twin flame thing itself. Even though I didn't know about twin flames, I used to kind of like think like, I wish I had like my truest companion, you know, like in life and stuff like that. I used to kind of think that. By the time I got to like right before I was going to meet Zaire, I had released it because I thought that I already met like the person who was my catalyst, right? Like, but I didn't know about catalyst, so I thought that was like the highest connection that was available, and like it wasn't going to happen. So I was like surrendered. I was like, okay, I surrender, and I joined eHarmony, which was against all my personal rules. And I did that, and I was like, yeah, I guess, like, I'm just gonna have to, like, you know, even though in my heart I was, like, before I'd been like, I'll never, ever, like, ever join in union with anybody unless it's the highest person. Like, even if I never get married and I just live a celibate life or whatever, I was, like, so committed to, even though I didn't know about twin flames. But anyway, at that moment, I was like, you know what I need? Just companionship, just partnership with anybody. So I surrendered, like, hardcore. I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna go on eHarmony, and I'm just gonna get to know these people because everybody's beautiful, and maybe my person doesn't exist, you know? So I was, like, really surrendered, and as soon as I, I literally was only on there for, like, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday morning before I met Zaire. But, like, in that space, I was like, all these people are wonderful. Like, I guess any one of these wonderful people will be fine. And a gift from the universe. And, like, I wasn't searching out my twin flame. Okay, at that point, that was like the first time probably I wasn't in that energy. I was just like, okay, I trust that whatever will come to me will come to me. And then it was like, ding, 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 ding. Like, I got an email. I was like, oh, you know, and it was Zaire, like his face. And I was like, whoa. Okay, but anyway, same thing again. Same thing again. I didn't do it. I just did nothing. Like, I just released it so that it could come back to me. So, in conclusion, everything that you have ever wanted on a heart and soul level is already yours. You already have it. Your future self already possesses it, but not possesses in that way, because it's not possession. But already has magnetized it, and it's there, and the only way to get it to you in the here and now moment is to let it go so that it can flow into you. So just let it go, whether it's your twin flame, him or herself, or it's anything else, the job you want, the house you want, the money you want, the feeling of joy you want, feeling of bliss you want. Like, if you want bliss, if you want bliss, when something comes to you that's not bliss, celebrate it. It'd be like, I love this, and then guess what? You'll get bliss. Like, gotta let go of needing to have the thing that you want the way that you want it, and give it back to the universe so the universe can give it back to you. Okay, guys, stop the video now. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching and joining me in this moment. It has been a pleasure, and I'm sending you my love and light and some vibrations of true surrender and letting go, and I hope that they reach you. So thank you for watching, and namaste. Bye!